Thinking of taking a solo photography trip but don't know how to film yourself? I spent 5 days on the road visiting 4 national parks, and this is how I did it. Passing in a mountain. I'm passing in a mountain. It's 28 degrees this morning. If this rain doesn't let up, this whole trip was for nothing. There it is. That series is now live. You can click up here to check out all 3 episodes, but I'm going to break down exactly what gear I used and how I filmed this road trip by myself. First thing first, you need your photo camera to get your photos for your photography trip. I used my EOS R, which is filming me now, but that could be your T5i, whatever camera you have, even if it's just your cell phone. You can use that for your photography. It just happened to be my EOS R. It makes a great vlogging camera, so if I wasn't using photos, I had the Rode video mic on top so that I could get better quality vlogs, and I would use that when I could, but it was mainly my photo camera, which is where part 2 comes in, the Osmo Action. Everything you see in the series of me talking to the camera, 90% of that is going to be the Osmo Action, because I had the big lens on this a lot, EOS R a lot, and trying to swap lenses to then go vlog and then take a photo just didn't work. The Osmo Action just was much easier for me to carry around. I don't have it up here with me right now, but you could also use a GoPro. I'm sure everyone has one of those lying around. Osmo Action or GoPro, that was my main vlogging camera, while this one was strapped to my shoulder using the Peak design. This attaches to your backpack strap, and then you just clip your camera on, and so then you can just easily pull off the camera and get a photo. There's lots of birds flying by, so that was very helpful to have the quick release. However, getting the camera back onto here is quite the struggle sometimes. Going off the little vlog setup with the GoPro or the Osmo Action, I don't know how the GoPro handles this audio, but the Osmo Action, I use the Rode Video Micro. I use the Rode Wireless Go 2. It's recording my audio right now, but this is the second transmitter. You can actually put it on top of the Osmo, and I record all the audio into the Osmo Action. While I was driving, I would strap this to my seatbelt so I could talk to the camera and have really good audio that way. The entire route is almost in red. Back to first, second, and it may as well not even go up from there. Another thing you could do that I didn't was put this up in your little sun visor that comes down. You could kind of get it there, maybe if you gaff tape it, so then it's kind of out of the shot, but it didn't bother me seeing it clipped to me because I know it was recording good audio. Rode Wireless Go 2 for the audio running into the Osmo Action, and then if I ended up using the EOS R as another camera, I could sync up the audio later if you have the setting on this so that it's recording audio all the time. And actually, this was my first real world test with this audio setup at like long extended periods of time. Like one of the hikes was 5 hours. It dropped to maybe like 50% battery by the end of the day, so I never had an issue with batteries because I have like the transmitter that was on me, and it comes with a second one, so I just always had a second one charged, but I never needed it. I would just charge them up at night and then they would last all the next day. Which brings me to my next point. There was a lot of driving in this series, so I needed a way to be able to mount the camera to the dashboard, but then also be able to turn it to get driving shots, and then I also need to be able to get out of the car real fast and have access to it. That's where this comes in. This is the original GoPro suction cup mount, and I used a Swivet mount so that you can turn it 360s, it kind of clicks into place each stop, and on top of that is then the snap mount, so it magnetizes the Osmo Action. I guess it'd be helpful if I go get it. Wow, that's been cooking in my car for a while, but yes, the Osmo Action with the snap mount. This setup allows me to magnetize the Osmo Action to here. It would suction cup to the windshield, and I actually would end up having to do it upside down because of the angle this is at. The window facing me so that I could drive and talk, something like this. It's just non-stop rain. And then with the Swivet, I could just turn it around if something cool is happening in front of me, or just get B-roll of the driving footage. And the cool part is I could also take that out completely, and this actually magnetizes to the metal parts of your car, so you can put it on your hood. I only got to do that once. It was severely windy the entire time I was there, so I didn't feel safe putting this outside my car with like 30-mile-an-hour wind because of the liability. This is just the most versatile thing ever, which leads me into the next part of this, the necklace part of the chest mount. This goes underneath microphone might get hit here. This goes underneath your shirt and you magnetize it here. It looks like the camera's actually floating on you when you do it for real. So that's one of the coolest things, because I could have it magnetized to my chest, and when I felt like talking, I'd pull it off, start talking to the camera. Even using this as a little base, I could set it up on like little vlogs or something, and I could go walk by the camera to get those sort of shots. This was the most versatile thing. But if you are going to go with the Osmo Action, be sure to pick up the extra batteries. I went through all of the batteries each day. Be aware of that. You know, I'd have 3-hour, 4-hour drives to the next locations, and I'd just plug it into the USB port in the car with the USB-C, and I could get a little charge for an hour or so. Yeah, the RodeWirlessGoII is going to this, so it's just upside down the whole time, which other than the extra batteries, this was incredibly helpful. And I have like the really big memory card in here, so I get like 400 hours of footage. Whole trip ended up being like 500 gigabytes of footage, which is ridiculous. So that's it. That's kind of how I filmed that trip. I went through a lot of different options, and this is the best way I found to film a lot of stuff by yourself at once, especially when one camera's doing photos and you need another one. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and in these future videos you will notice my camera bag is different from the one in this Georgia series, and there's a really good reason for that. Be sure to subscribe to find out why on the next one. Thing that bugs me, it said, "We found a faster route. Would you like to take it?" It did not say, "You would be going to Disney World and trying to find parking."